The situation in Afghanistan remains extremely dangerous and extremely complex. I particularly want to thank our partners, and especially the United States and the United Kingdom. I particularly also want to thank His Royal Highness the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, all of whom are such essential partners for the operations we're currently engaged in. Of course, the Crown Prince, in terms of our operations at Minhad, I'll be speaking to him later this evening, and in particular, the UK, who I'll outline in just a second, the arrangements we've had with them in the last 24 hours, which enabled us to get additional people out of Kabul last night. But of course, the US and the UK, through their military presence on the ground, continues to provide the security around the airfield that is enabling these operations to continue. And we expect to be able to continue them now throughout the course of this week and into next week. But we are moving urgently, safely, because we're taking nothing for granted. The weather is closing in, and that's going to present some challenges over the next few days, but equally the situation can always turn, and so we're moving as quickly as we possibly can. I'll be also speaking to Prime Minister Johnson on these matters this evening. Last night, 40 ADF personnel were deployed into Kabul, in addition to those already there, to support our efforts with additional security. A provisions drop was also included. That was through the UK air asset that would also brought in the Australian ADF to provide relief to those on the ground, including those we're providing assistance to. On that same flight back out of Kabul that night, 76 people were evacuated, including Australian citizens and Afghan visa holders. They have been transferred to our base in Minhad. We have scheduled today a first flight to leave Minhad and come to Australia, to Perth. It has not left yet, but we anticipate that it should leave in the course of the next few hours, and it'll find its way to Australia. And I want to thank the arrangements we have with the WA government to provide for those quarantine facilities over and above the cap. People are also receiving medical treatment in Dubai. As you can imagine, people who we're taking out of Kabul, taking out of a very dangerous set of circumstances, and we're making sure that any injuries they have are being attended to. But you can also imagine there's quite a bit of trauma and they're in a highly anxious state, and I want to thank all of the people we have on the ground there in Minhad who are receiving them and preparing them and getting them ready for their onward flight to Australia. We have 3 additional aircraft now that have been relocated. We also have, which includes the KC-30, the air-to-air refueler, which has already been involved in operations supporting the airlift for other allies and partners. Crews are also in place for those 3 additional aircraft, and that their access to the Kabul airstrip at HKIA will be very dependent on slot management as well as the weather. Now, I need to stress that the apron that you have there cannot take too many planes at any one time, and so slots are being allotted to get on the ground and to unload and upload and get out. And there are many countries who are involved in these operations, and so the windows are very narrow, and we have to take the slots when we're there and move when we're able to do that. And I want to thank the ADF for the way that they're moving swiftly to achieve that outcome.